Want to know how you too can create a visually appealing 3D render like this one? Well, get ready to stick a feather in your cap and call it macaroni, because you're about to learn some stuff. What's going on, guys and gals? Welcome to the very first video on the Rock VFX YouTube channel, a channel dedicated to teaching VFX artists such as yourselves visual effect techniques like 3D animation, compositing, and tracking troll faces onto your favorite memes. Yes, this channel is gonna have it all, but this first video is probably going to seem pretty, by the books. For starters, this is a listicle video. I know, but wait, this is not the format I plan on using moving forward. I just thought personally this would be a good way to kind of introduce myself to the YouTube community. It's not a cop-out, I promise. The internet is just a frightening place. With all that being said, I'm sure a lot of you have seen these amazingly satisfying 3D renders that have been cropping up all over the internet lately. Well, maybe not lately. I don't even know if these things are still trending, but we're not going to talk about that. What we are going to talk about are the key ingredients that go into making one of these 3D renders. So yeah, let's get into it. Number 1, know your concept. Before you start modeling or animating or adding textures to your scene and start cranking up the bump channel to 500%, I think you need to sit down, maybe grab a cup of coffee, who cares what time it is, and consider what your concept actually is first. Some of these artists probably just opened up their 3D program, threw some random shapes into the viewer, ran a simulation, and hit render. Cool, done.
Internet stardom.
In most cases though, I think, don't quote me on that, the artist probably had an idea in mind before they even opened up Blender, or Cinema 4D, or SketchUp. You should too. Hop on Google, do some research, find out what your credit score is, take a nap, and then draw out your idea. You don't have to be good at drawing either. I'm not, and I turned out just fine, for the most part. Number 2, research your approach. There are many ways you can go about doing this, and I think the best way to truly engage yourself in the 3D landscape is just to learn everything. But you probably don't have forever, so let's just break it down to make it simpler. Say you want to do an animation in which a wire continuously cuts off pieces of an object. You can just hop on YouTube, watch a couple tutorials, and boom, you've done it. Knowledge is power. Power is knowledge. Bears like porridge. You know the saying. You have to know what you're getting into before you start modeling your life away. That way, when the time comes, you're not scrambling to figure out why your objects are glitching through the floor like some neglected Call of Duty game. It's okay if you've never done a simulation before. That's why we have the internet. Well, that and cat videos. Number 3, keep it simple. No one likes an overachiever. And if you are an overachiever, then good job, bud. Gold star. For everyone else though, it's probably best to try to not reinvent the wheel here, unless your concept is an actual wheel. What I'm trying to say is you don't have to go all cuckoo bananas when it comes to modeling your scene. Yeah, it would be cool to model Baby Yoda levitating a bunch of space frogs, but it's also not necessary. I know this, you know this, Baby Yoda knows this. This is the way. Don't underestimate what standard primitives can do for your scene. I know they might not be exciting, but with the right textures, your render could go from looking like 1980s computer graphics to a render even your grandma can be proud of. That's saying something. Number 4, add realism. Go ahead and locate that roughness channel in your material editor. You know, the one that Anakin Skywalker isn't very fond of. What I mean is, this is a great place to start incorporating surface imperfection textures, such as dirt, scratches, and the cheesy smudges left over from the night your dog left you, and a bag of flaming hot Cheetos was your only coping mechanism. In fact, you can apply these textures to all sorts of channels. The bump channel, the displacement channel, the weather channel, whatever boats your float. Number 5. Consider your render time. Your scene is built, your textures are in place, and your animation is the coolest thing since Wonder Balls. Now it's time to render. You hit that button and... it's not doing anything. Don't worry, your computer didn't freeze. Your render just decided to escape into a parallel universe where time no longer exists. The thing about 3D rendering is that it does take a while to actually get to the finish line. My animation, for instance, took over 6 hours to render. That was only 80 frames. Now this could also depend on your render engine. GPU-based renderers like Octane, Redshift, and Corona all tend to render your stuff much faster because they let your graphics card do all the heavy lifting. How nice of them. Once you finally hit render though, you can probably afford to step away for a little bit while your computer continues to churn out frames. Might I suggest grabbing a nice glass of scotch, or a cup of tea, or some Capri Sun, whatever your jam is. I won't judge. And that's it. We made it. See, that wasn't so bad, was it? You're still here, so that's worth something, right? Don't forget to like and hit that little bell icon, and thank your mom for allowing you to play on the internet this long.